Election Day is July the 15th, a Tuesday. It's an open primary. This race will be decided for the general election in this primary, so if you're interested in this race, you'll want to pick a Democratic ballot. Also, you can start early voting over Memorial Drive as early as the 8th of July.
It appears most of us who were in town on Sunday morning, if you reached for your water tap, it temporarily did turn on for a few hours, and that foretold what might happen if our droughts continued on for years at a time. It does appear that we're not going to get the rainfall we were hoping for this summer, and that this drought is with us for some time to come. In terms of water resource planning and conservation, what plans do you have as CEO? We'll start with Joe coming back this way to make sure that we don't end up in a situation where we turn on those taps and there's no water there.
I'm glad you all asked that question. When I was preparing to enter this race, I had an opportunity to go over and meet with the folks with the water department. The only thing that I see that haven't been addressed, they should have built more reservoirs. I think we need about 10 more reservoirs in this county to adequately address the water problem in this county.
Well, Bill, my name is Burrell Ellis. I went out on me. I wanted everybody to be aware of that. Listen, our water problems, like our transportation and traffic congestion problems, are going to require regional solutions. And we've got to have a county that is a partner in the region. So first and foremost, you deserve a CEO who's going to be present at the table, who's going to take the ego off and walk into the Atlanta Regional Commission meetings as a peer. Just as Mayor Franklin did, she had a predecessor who didn't attend the Atlanta Regional Commission meetings, and Atlanta suffered as a result. And so now they have a leader who attends those meetings. Doesn't mean that person has to be in charge when they walk in the room, but they have to be able to connect with their peers, the other county leaders and the other civic leaders as a peer. And that's what you'll have in Burrell Ellis as your next CEO. A CEO who's at the table working with other leaders around the county to solve regional problems. Now, as a county commissioner, I voted to make sure we had conservation water rates that encourage people to conserve water usage. I voted to make sure that we have low-flow fixtures, not mandated or criminalizing people when they sell their homes, but an incentive-based approach that gives you a rebate should you decide. That's the kind of smart thinking that we've got to have, and we've got to have a DeKalb County that's a partner in the region, led by your CEO working at the table, and that's the kind of CEO I'll be. Thank you.
Good evening. Now, quickly, when you turned on your water taps, depending on where you were on Sunday morning, the water pressure was low. And this administration, and I've been a part of that administration, I'm very proud to say that this administration has been recognized statewide, region-wide, and nationally. We were at Harvard being recognized for the way we run this government. We have a dual AAA bond credit rating, and part of that rating is based on how well we have done in the area of water conservation, how we have done in the area of watershed management. The water pressure was low on Sunday morning. We did our very best to communicate effectively in a crisis. I will tell you that when I received a call on my way to church, that I did make a phone call because I had the cell phone number of the head of Georgia Power to make sure that we got those folks out to repair our generators, to flip the switch. Just so you'll know, and you'll be happy to know, again in DeKalb County, you can breathe a sigh of relief. We have water supplies that should the worst happen, as we plan our homeland security measures, we have 14 days worth of water supplies for every single resident in DeKalb County. So for water conservation, what would I do as the next CEO? I would make sure that we would continue in this way, in this effort, that we would continue in the area of water conservation. When the Sierra Club interviewed me, they said I have the best responses because I understand it, I get it, I understand green development, I understand water conservation. And yes, in the region, we are the leaders in terms of making sure that water conservation is first and foremost. We will continue to implement new measures as it relates to water conservation, but importantly, we need to communicate as fast as we can. So I would add more communication personnel. Thank you.
I'm Steen Miles. Part of what we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is, as Mr. Ellis so aptly put, we have to take a regional approach to our water issues, and that has not been done. We have not occupied the seat at the table with the ARC, and in a Miles administration, we will do that. I have been a member of the Regional Leadership Institute for the state of Georgia, and I know full well what our water issues are. It is very critical, and you will see that we have lawsuits between Florida and Alabama, and with our drought situation, we have to have a plan in place. And part of my platform, ladies and gentlemen, is to make certain when we go into office and do the top to bottom audit of personnel, programs, and spending, that one of the things that we will look closely at is our water situation through the year 2025 and 2050. It has to be done. We have to look at conservation, we have to look at infrastructure, and we must look at personnel. I can tell you that I have also spoken to people with the water department. Morale there is extremely low because most often they don't have the resources with which to do an adequate job. Despite the fact that we have a AAA bond rating, if I've got an A1 credit rating and my roof is caving in, what good does that do me? So ladies and gentlemen, a regional approach to our water issues and to make certain that we have a plan in place to take us through the year 2025 and through 2050.